back in the barn again today, friends and fans, and it's been a couple days. I took yesterday off. We're back on it. We caught 4 more mice yesterday, so that's a total of 8. And overnight, we did not catch any. So my battery is saying it's dead. I got to change it. So yeah, anyway, we caught 8 total. Nothing overnight. So maybe we quelled the population before it got too big. I'm leaving 4 of them set in the attic of the barn. 2 of them down here, that's 6. I only count 9, but I set 10, so I've lost one somewhere. I forgot where it is, but I don't see any action. And so it looks like we're catching up with the population. I don't want them gnawing into our stuff we have stored, you know. And I think once we get the barn sealed back up again, they can't get in. I mean, it's going to be pretty damn tight. We never had them before I opened it up to put this addition on anyway. Let's put it that way. At least we didn't realize we did. So, today what are we going to do? Yes. I am going to start measuring for these outlet boxes very, very carefully. And I'm going to cut holes in that first piece of steel that's got to go up. And then I guess I really could try to waggle it up there. Now the next thing I need to do is figure out where to cut the holes in this one. Now, these, as you can see, the edges of these are running perfectly straight and square, so we know the lengths of these are perfect. So I could actually measure from this front edge back to this hole, but somehow I would have to project a straight line out, which I can do with a square, I guess, to find the marks on this to make my decisions where to cut my holes. And I can do that. I just got to look up under the edge there and find the exact edge of the end of this piece over here. Project it over here, find the end, come out square and measure back. I can do that. This one, I'm going to measure from the wall because I can reach it all from the scaffolding. And then I'm just going to have to measure from the center of that bead edge right there, because that's how they lap over. It's the only exact reference I'll have is that beaded top rim over to that. I'm going to make them pretty precise, but I can also get larger scale receptacle covers if I have to cut them a little too big. I'm not worried about it. It's light sockets, what can I say? And if I can get this next row up, maybe I can do it by myself. I think maybe I can. I'll just have to carefully raise it up. I'll have to put one end in, clamp it somehow maybe, clamp it together over here on this corner and push it back in. The problem is when it's on top of this lift by yourself, it twists like this. So if I push one edge in, the other edge is going to swing out. So I'm going to have to be up and down and back and forth, which is going to suck. But I can work from the scaffold, I can work from the step ladder. I'll put the step ladder on the far end, I'll put the lift in the middle, I'll put the scaffold out here. Alright, well let's take our measurements. You don't need to see me measuring, but as I said, I told you how I'm going to do that. Alright, well, I'm going to let you walk me through this. I mean, I know you want to. First off, notice, I'm going to make a drawing of the piece. Not the scale, of course. And our boxes are like this. Now we've been running these sheets pretty dang close to about right into these J-holes. why I need a helper. What you weren't supposed to push yourself around. Taped up. She's off, so I don't have to get it. So I made my measurement marks, and now I just got to square everything up. Luckily there's square lines on this stuff. So what did I say it was? 20 3/8. Yep. 20 3/8 plus 4 inches. 4 inches. 86 and an 8. Yeah, we're going to cut on the outside of that line. 86 and an 8 and 2 quarters. Make sure you get 2 3/4 here. Yes, we do. All right. I said, even if these are a little generous, I'm okay with that. Because I'll just get the large Midland covers for these. Nobody will ever see them from down here. It'll make it easier to fit this. We've got to make things easy on ourselves once in a while. And try not to get shocked again. All right, there's that one. Now, we're going to come up to this end. All we're putting is in this portion, right? Is that where my pencil is? Okay, yeah. All right, how about we square it off from that other end? 7/8. And I think that was generous. To 9.5. I gotta give that a little bit on each side. And then now I'm just eyeballing this groove on this side because it's the only reference I got. 20.5. Sorry about the roar, that's the heater. It's cold out here. Hey! So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a piece of wood under here. And I got a transfer punch so I can see the radius of the corner and line that up. If I can find anything hammer. Oh, that one. I guess it's, I got a depth hole, I guess. So, I'm going to take the centering punch. This is actually made for like plates. If you want to line up drill holes, you put this through the hole because you got a punch for every size drill hole. Now my drill hole on her. I'm going to put him here. I'm looking down and lining it up with the corner lines. Give that a punch. Then I'm just going to drill a big hole. Big hole big enough for the saw blade's got to fit down into this hole. So you can get started. Don't get me started. Alright, did you know if you back that up till it clicks, supposedly? Yeah, I knew it was going to do that. Now, I think I'm going to put hearing protection on. This hearing protection actually has amplification, so I can hear myself talk. One suggestion, when you're cutting with a saber saw in metal, turn off the orbital effect if you have it. Some saws just go straight. This one creates an orbital if you want it to, which makes it cut really fast in wood. We don't need to cut that fast. Cut from the back side, so if I was cutting on the front, I would put blue tape all over this. You like these diagonal blades. Couple for my table saws, and they work marvelous. All right, well, I'm going to go Put down the same thing on the other hole. You don't want to see. All right, the wife and I have been working this afternoon, and we have got another strip of the steel on the ceiling. And the beauty of it is that that was the one with all the outlets cut in it. So we got the outlets cut, and I got 2 of the lights moved to where their home location is going to be. Because again, there's going to be a second row down this side. And I don't have the covers for them. I wish I had the covers. I could put them right on my outlets. So I got to change this one down here and move the light over. But all we're doing is screwing it into the track right next to it. Oh shoot, I got to put some screws in there. I got a bunch of screws that got to be done. Okay, never mind. I got to finish screwing. So what I do is, of course, I know when I locate the last screws in the center of the stud, and I can see a marker on the far wall where it's going to start at the joist. So I just eyeball down the line. Yeah, I suppose I could chalk line and other fire around. Well, just a quick recap. If you didn't see, if I didn't do it yesterday, we have another row of steel up. I had to cut all the box covers for those outlets. I apparently measured them correctly because the outlets show through the holes. So I got covers in my pockets I could put up there. I'm going to wait till I'm up there putting something else up so I don't have to climb up separately. I have to start my J-mold at each end because we can put up another row. I've got one box to measure to cut. There's my 220 outlet. That's going to be for my car lift because that post is going to be almost in the center of the room. And what I'm going to do is get some SO cord, which is just that black rubber cord and an octagon box cover with like a Chinese finger, and drop it down here to almost to the floor with like a 10-foot piece. And then when I believe there's a safety switch though that it has to go over to first on the top of the lift and then down, so that if your car is coming up too high, it hits a bar that's at the top of the lift and keeps you from driving it through the roof. Oh, it's looking wonderful though. I'm so excited. And of course, soon this will mean that I can get my furnace up. You can see my braces up there for the furnace now. And I got my 2 chase pipes cut down through so I can bring my gas pipe and the electrical. I got to bring a ground wire for the furnace, I think. So I got to worry about that. You saw me wire the box for them. All right, so what am I going to do today? Well, I need to run my gas pipe, which means cutting some holes and stuff through the attic up there from inside the barn. I think I'm just going to hack a big hole with the Sawzall and with a metal cutting blade and just hack a hole so I can step through there. I'm going to start about a foot down from the top and make an access hole. Now I'm going to cover the hole after I'm done with, I've got that 1/2-inch welded mesh. That'll keep the rodents from coming through. I hope 1/2-inch holes should be small enough. Alrighty, a little work to do today, but nothing too bad. I got to get the heater started because it's still pretty cold in here. Let's see. It says 43 in here. I'm not sure what the outside temp is. This salamander works pretty good, and of course every time you add another layer of the insulation foam, that's going to be such a big help for air infiltration right there. Plus it has a R12 and then there's R30 on top of that. So I supposedly have R42 in the ceiling. All right guys, we'll come back later. I also forgot it's time to check my little mousy traps to see if I got any customers down here. I don't see any customers. I got 2 in here, I got 4 upstairs. Upstairs is where I was trapping the most. I can't believe if I got them all, that'd be great. I don't want them chewing my stuff. My attic hatch. One of these days I'm going to devise an easier way to raise and lower that. Well, no customers there. No customers over here. And nothing down there by the door. So no business today either. So it's been like 3 days I haven't caught anything. All right, that's good. So if you notice the way this goes up, there's actually a J-mold that goes at the end of the steel. So before I can put my next piece up, I need to put a piece of J-mold up. And it's called J-mold because if you look at the end of it, it's kind of shaped like a J, the way it's bent. So what I do is I see now that last row of foam, there was no J-mold, so I just stapled it up to my overhang there that I created when I put that 2x4 up there, which you saw in previous videos. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put this one up and screw it in the section where the foam already has been put in position, but not screw it past so that when I put my foam up next time, I can butt it in and then drive the screws to tighten it up and hold it. So what I'm going to do now is I bought this for one thing, 99 bucks. I love DeWalt. DeWalt, if you want to sponsor me, I use nothing but DeWalt cordless. Anyway, Home Depot, whoever. What I'm doing today is I'm pre-drilling the holes for the screws because it's really hard to get the screws to start and they have to be fairly close to the end. So I'm just going to drill those and I'm going to slide the steel out, so I'm drilling into this wood as I go. Alright? Simple enough. I just drill them about 18 inches apart. Alright, fans. We have just a smidge over 2/3 of the way done. Basically, we got 10 out of the 16 sheets up. The last sheet's going to need to be cut a smidge, so we got 3 more rows to go. Down here I got some fiddling around because I got to cut my chase pipes down through for my my wires for my hole saw wouldn't cut the hole, or I would have had it done today. Have to buy a new metal cutting hole saw. And I got to run my gas pipe, flop that up over there. I need that metal hole saw to cut through that metal roof on the barn side. But my lights are all up, the covers are on those. I got my box cut in for the power for my lift. We've moved most of the stuff from this side to that side, so now we're transitioning to working towards the final 3 rows. It's all insulated out to the edge of the vinyl bubble wrap you can see there. So looks like my guesstimation for the installation is just about done. And yeah, coming right along. All right, well, we are getting right down to it. We're down to the last 2 rows of steel. We got 2 more up. Got our light boxes in. I can put the lights up tomorrow, so we'll have all 6 lights running. And oh, this is wonderful. We started putting the insulation up there. Now I just stapled the one edge and flopped the other one up in there and put a couple pieces of tape on it just to hold them. But I think what I'm going to do is about in the middle of that, across the center, I've got some heavy twine. I'm going to wrap it around a roofing nail, pound it into the wood there, stretch it across the bottom of the fiberglass as I put them in to suspend them. Actually, I could put it in first, just to give it some suspension and flop them up over the top, because the next ones are just going to be kind of laying in there. I can staple the edges like I did that one. I stapled the edge on that to the beam. And so we're almost, that's all that's left to cover before we're sealed in and more airtight, and the furnace will produce a lot more heat. It's 11 degrees out, and my salamander got it up to 50 in here. So, excuse me. As I said, my lift goes in on Monday. It's what today? Wednesday? No, Tuesday. Today is Tuesday. So, tomorrow I'll work on getting the lights up and putting that fiberglass up. And once I get the fiberglass up, I can put the foam up, and that'll help hold it too. And then we're just left with 2 straight pieces of steel. And then we got to cut a piece and put the J-mold and stuff up. And I'm hoping that that foam, we can do what we did on the other side, is wrap it, take it over to the edge of the wall and staple it down the wall. And then when you screw I did it over here, when you screw the J-mold down, that stuff is spongy and it'll act like a gasket and help seal out air infiltration all the way along there. So I'm excited about that. All right, me and the wife's been working hard. I only missed a couple times with the screws. Sucks, but I'm not a pro. Doesn't matter, it's just a ceiling. Not a show place, it's just for me. It's not a customer. And in 5 days, we're gonna have a lift sitting right over there in that corner. We got plenty of room. We can just move all our equipment over here, but I'd like to have the ceiling done. Maybe I can get my grandson to help me for a day, like on Saturday or Sunday, and we'll finish it up. And that's all that's got to be done other than doing the furnace. Now the furnace is the back of the furnace is gonna be about 4 feet from the wall where those pipes come out. And it's gonna be just to the right of those. And the flue's going right out. I'm gonna put the furnace up first and measure because the flue has to run uphill a little bit. Then you gotta cut some slightly bigger than 6-inch holes, and the thimble kind of comes in from both sides, and it's a air gap thimble, and this is double wall flue pipe, so it won't get real hot. It'll just get warm. All right, I've still got to go up there and cut a big access hole, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to cut a big access hole. I may put the access hole here, right there, and I think what I'm going to do is put one of those humidistat and thermostat controlled exhaust fans right up there in that corner, blowing into the barn attic. But the barn attic has perforated vents all the way around. It has roof vents. It'll have plenty of ventilation for it to get out of there. And that'll suck the air in around. There's perforated vent on the other outside there. And I'm going to put another vent there. It might suck the air in there. But that gives me a little access hole to pretty much anything I need to get to, which is the gas line. But there shouldn't be any issue with that. And then hooking up the gas line outside, I just got to change a couple of pipe fittings. Change a 90 that comes out of the regulator to a T, so it's got a fitting going straight up that I can screw the pipe into, and my valve, and hook up my flexible pipe. All right, guys. Gonna take a break now. God bless. We'll see you next time. All right, well, I'm working alone today, so I can't get the fiberglass up, which it seems to be hanging there just fine. I'm going to stretch a line right down the middle of it and hold them up till they get my foam up. And then the scale, and then it's done. And I need to mark my trusses here so that I can find the screws on the edge. But anyway, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to hang these lights. Now, all there is to hanging these lights is I'm going to come over one section this way from the outlet. And I'm going to drill a pilot hole right between the two mounting screws. And I'm going to screw it a screw eye, and I'm going to hang my lights, which hang on a hook with a clip like so. Whoops. And they plug in, and I've got tie wraps in my pocket to bundle up the wire. So it's funny because you know, it's 20 degrees outside and it was 32 in here when I came. Just I had them not insulate the floor because the earth is warm. It's like 50 degrees. And so this actually is heating the building from the floor. And when I get the insulation finished, it'll even keep it even warmer. And that's good for us. Keeps the heating cool. You know, it's easier to heat 30 degrees than it is to heat 50 degrees. You know what I'm saying? Differential, I mean. Well, this ceiling looks so good. I'm so happy to be getting this done. I'm hoping I can get this done Saturday. If I get some help. See, we're watching the grandkids. 13 grandkids, but they still need somebody to home to get them on the bus, feed them, get all that stuff going. And so that's what we're doing right now. And so I can't get my wife to help me, and I need somebody to hand me up the insulation as I go and move the scaffold and stuff. So I'm hoping I can get my grandson to come do that, maybe my older grandson. He's 22, 23. And get him to come help me do that and finish this ceiling up on Saturday. And then I can get all this stuff out of here. I can take the scaffold down, I can take the lift apart, and I don't really want to load this stuff into the trailer yet because I don't want to get it all wet with snow. I guess I could do that with the scaffold because I got to get this, take it back to my brother-in-law, which is a 100-mile trip one way. He lives 100 miles south of me here, down near the Pennsylvania border. And then I'll need the lift one more time before I take it apart to lift up the furnace to that position kind of between that outlet box and where the pipes and wires come down. Alrighty? Well, I got the salamander going. I'm sure you can hear me speaking about this. So watch this other light over here. Boom. Look at the light in here now. Looks like a real modified workshop, don't it? Perfect. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I got indicted. Alright, I got one more to do over here. And we'll have all our lights. I think what I'm going to do next is I need to cut some breather holes. I'm going to cut one up in that from inside the barn with a hacksaw blade and a sawzall. One there and one over here somewhere. I probably won't do it above the gas line, so I'll probably do it right here. There's a truss in the middle, so I have to go one side, half of this or the other. So I'm going to go over here. And then I'll be done what I can do today. I got to go babysit grandkids again. I mean, they're not young kids, they're teenagers, but somebody has to be around to get them from school and such. All right, guys and gals, we have the fiberglass up in over the edge of the wall on the top, and the bubble foam all stapled up. The only thing now we need to do is run the J-mold all the way around and then 4 pieces of steel and we are done with the ceiling. I got to put the brace back on the overhead door thing, but that's pretty easy. Well, we've got the last 2 full pieces put on, and now I just need to go up and take a measurement at several points to make sure this is all an even piece, which it should be. Excuse me. And we'll have to cut it. And I've got a new saber saw blade and a new saber saw, so that should do the trick for me. There was a little bit of a bow down in this, so I want to fix that J-mold. You can see how we use the sheetrock lift to raise the panel up. We're on the next to the last panel, and I had to build that wooden rack because the lift wasn't quite tall enough. My grandson is here giving me great expert help today, so it's a blessing. One more cut and one more piece, and then I just got to attach my brace for this door lift. I'm worried that that's going to come up by itself because it is radio controlled, so to speak. It has Wi-Fi and all that crap. So I got to get that up there. And then I get the furnace in it. All right, fans. The ceiling is done. Oh, the major pain in the butt that I was worried about, the high work, is done. The only high work I got left now is I have to drop my furnace in, which I've already got the plywood on the lift to raise it up, or OSB. But it's so nice to have this sealed up. Got the new brackets on the, got that repaired, so it's all back ready to rock and roll. All right, I'll put this progress report up for you.